Welcome to Fox Valley in Focus. I'm your host, Barb Nadeau. Today we're going to have two good friends on our show. Plano Mayor Bob Hausler to talk about fishing with the mayor, ice fishing with the mayor, and Robyn Stecklein. She is an officer with North Aurora Police to talk about the Citizens Police Academy and an opportunity for you to get involved. And rounding out our show today, someone new you should know, Judy Chavez from Plano High School and the National Hispanic Institute. We'll get started right after this.
Their support changed my life.
They were like family.
My voice is now heard.
A home for every animal.
My future is bright because they cared.
This is our home now.
Thank you to the 1,200 nonprofits that serve Cass and Clay counties every day.
Bob, thanks for being on our show today. It's always great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me here today.
We like to talk about what's going on in the city of Plano, but before the show we were talking about how you as a mayor really get involved in some of the fun aspects, not just the politics of Plano, but some of the fun things that happen in the city. And today we want to talk about ice fishing with the mayor.
Yeah. This is an event that we started actually about 5 years ago. It's kind of came to be when Plano Molding acquired a company called Frable, which is a big company in the ice fishing industry. And we thought that it'd be good to have an event during the winter that our residents and people from the whole area could come and participate in.
And this is actually one of two fishing expos that you have every year.
Yes, during the summer, coinciding with Superfest, we do fishing with the mayor, and that's at Foley Park off of Larson Street in the city, and we have that event for our summer fishing event.
Foley Park is a good spot for that.
Yes.
It's a really nice little remote park, and it's really not little at all, and the lake is pretty good size for this event.
Yes, it is. It's about 3 to 4 acres, and there's a lot of fish in it and a lot of fun times to catch them.
I can just see you jumping on board with this idea of ice fishing and seeing the opportunity. Did you go to Frable and say, please do this for us?
Yes, I did. I asked them to sponsor the event, and they were very happy to have that idea. So.
Now, you told me just a moment ago before we went on the air that you have some little surprises for this ice fishing. You actually are making sure that the fish are ready for them.
Oh, yeah. What I do is I go down to the lake before the event happens, and I actually catch some fish and tag them with tags I got from the DNR, the Department of Natural Resources. And if anyone catches a fish with those tags in them, they get extra prizes.
Okay. So what does this cost to be part of ice fishing with the mayor?
Actually, for kids, there's no cost. And we provide everything for kids to fish. We provide the poles, the bait, and we do ask the adults to buy a raffle ticket. That's $10. So that would be the cost for that.
And what about somebody like me? I've never gone ice fishing.
Okay, for someone that's never gone before, we do, as I said, provide everything that you need to fish. We even drill the holes that you need in the ice, and we have 2 gentlemen that are ice fishing pros.
Okay.
Yasik and Zibby are their names, and they come around and they will help anyone that would need help to show them how to ice fish and how to.
They've come before in the past, and they're coming back again.
Yes, they've been every year we've had it. They've been there.
So they can probably scan the ice, and right away they're gonna pick me out of the. They're gonna say, okay, that girl needs help. Right. But they'll go and they'll find people that they see might be, trying to get organized or struggling, and then they're gonna move around through the crowd.
Yes, they do. They walk around and they give people pointers and help people catch fish and enjoy the event.
How did this event start out, and how has it grown?
Well, we've started out, like I said, about 5 years ago. And
how many people did you have there?
at our first event, we probably had 70, 80.
Really? That was good. That was good for first time.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's grown to 2 years ago, we had well over 200. Last year, unfortunately, we didn't have good, safe ice, so we had to do the event indoors at the American Legion, and we had still a good event, but it was more where the ice fishing pros did seminars, and then we still had our raffles and our giveaways.
So you've got a contingency plan, but it sounds like looking at the weather reports and what this winter's been like already, it sounds like you're going to have a good event this year.
Yeah, we're crossing our fingers, and that's, our number one priority is the safety of the participants. So we do have criteria that we go by from our insurance company, and we want to make it a safe, fun event for everybody.
So the most important thing, I think, is layer up, be dressed for the weather, and the weather is not going to hinder you unless it's too sunny and bright, unless it's too sunny and warm, I should say, but the weather's not going to hinder you from enjoying this event.
Right, right. And, we do, one of the items that we do ask people to wear is ice cleats or something to keep their feet stable on the ice. A lot of times the ice can be slippery. So we do ask that.
So be careful and,
Be careful,
and use
yeah.
some good common sense. And tell me, what has this event, and this, as I said before, is just one of several events that you participate in the city. What has it meant for the city?
Well, it's meant a lot because, as you know, Plano Molding is an icon for our city. They actually began in the city of Plano, and they've done a lot to sponsor different events for us. In the spring and summer, we do a middle school fishing event where it's an after-school program, and the middle school kids come down to the lake. Our lake at Foley Park is directly across from the middle school, so they can walk down there. Plano Molding provides items for them, tackle boxes and other items, and we have a fun event during the spring and the fall for that too.
That's wonderful.
And Plano Molding also bought our city sign that we have on Route 34, our message board sign. So we've had a great partnership with Plano Molding.
As the mayor, I'm sure you're looking for those kind of partnerships with other businesses that are coming, into town or are in town, trying to work together to do good things for the city.
Sure, sure. And even for the ice fishing event, Rural King provides us the bait, and the BP provides coffee and cookies and that for the participants. So we get a lot of sponsorships that the businesses do for our events.
Well, the mayor's having fun. And so that's going to encourage everybody else to get on board and have fun with you, right?
Yes, yes.
What about some of the other things that are coming up on the horizon for the city?
Well, one thing that we're very proud of is the redevelopment that happened at Foley Park. That'll be completed fairly soon. It should be completed for the springtime. And we want to invite not only Plano residents, but anyone that'd like to come to the park and see all the improvements that we've made. We put a multi-use path around the lake. We have exercise stations positioned on the track, and we've made a lot of improvements. An ADA accessible pier is being constructed there.
So a lot of good things coming up. And the way to start is with ice fishing with the mayor, and that's February 10th.
February 10th, starting at 9 o'clock, ending at 4, and we'll be having giveaways and raffles throughout the day.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We'll take a break, and we'll be back with more right after this. Officer Robyn Stecklein of North Aurora Police joins us now to talk about the Citizens Police Academy. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
You were telling me that this is something the North Aurora Police has been involved in for quite a while.
For over 20 years now. We do it every other year.
And this is a really intriguing program for me. I've heard about Citizens Police Academy. I've always wanted to do it. It's a chance for regular people who are not police officers to learn more about your job?
Yes, it's geared toward residents to come and see what we do and have a better understanding of the police world and why we make certain decisions. It also builds a good rapport with our residents. They end up being our friends after taking the class a lot of times.
How many people can take the class?
We'd like to keep it small so they get more out of it. We keep it under about 25 people.
Okay, 25 people. And how many officers do they meet in the course of the class?
They could meet up to at least 10 to 15 of us.
So that's pretty nice. They get a good chance to really become friends with their police force.
Yeah, and get to know us and understand why we do the things we do. We have a pretty good curriculum, and we have certain officers teach what their expertise is in.
So how long does the class itself last? How many weeks, or what is involved in this?
It's a class for 2.5 hours. It starts from 6 at night till 8:30 p.m. It's a 10-week course. It starts February 21st. We start out with the orientation, the hiring process, and the training process that officers have to go through. That's our first night. Then we go on, teach a little bit about criminal law, traffic law. That's what everyone's interested in because a lot of people have been stopped by the police. We have a special agent from the FBI come in and talk about that in gangs. We try to make it very educational, yet we try to make it fun. We have a DUI class where they wear the fatal vision goggles and drive through a course on a golf cart.
Oh my gosh.
How that is. We have practical exercises too where they will do a traffic stop on the police and see kind of what we have to go through. Mm-hmm. We have a firearms training simulator. So there's a screen and they decide to shoot or not shoot. They go through a little class of use of force prior to that. It's all simulated. Mm-hmm. And then they have a better understanding, or they don't judge police so much when there's something on the news that involves a police shooting, mm-hmm. that they know there's a lot more involved.
Throughout the weeks, they're finding out it's a harder job than it looks.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot more involved that you have to do than we realize. But I'm thinking that as a participant from the very first class on, you'd get more and more curious, and you'd want to learn more and more. I mean, your wheels will start turning in your head, and you think, wow, I want to find out about this, I want to find out about that. Are you seeing that happen?
Yes, there's a lot of great questions coming in. Like I said, they do appreciate anyone. I've never had someone leave the course and say, wow, we don't like the police anymore or anything like that. They have a lot better understanding. They get to go for a ride along too, like a 4-hour block with one of the officers mm-hmm. on a regular shift. They could go on midnights, day shift, whatever's convenient for their schedule.
And how often do you offer this?
We offer the Citizens Police Academy every other year.
Every other year. So this is a very special opportunity. Take it now. Don't wait, because it's going to be 2 years before you get to take it again.
Yes.
Is there a cost?
There's no cost.
Absolutely no cost. And what about a commitment for the people that are taking it? Is there like because you're doing a great service.
The only commitment we ask is they try to show up. We understand spring break if someone goes out of town or if you miss 1 or 2 classes, but since you're taking a spot in the class, we ask you to try to make the majority of classes.
Okay, so just come, meet us, get to know us, and find out what we're doing. There's no commitment on the other end as far as helping it in the future, or any opportunities. Do you find people that are looking for opportunities once they take the class?
Some are looking for opportunities. We follow it up sometimes too. We have, I don't know if you've heard of our community emergency response team. It's called CERT. We follow it up, and a lot more people are interested than in helping people, and some people go through that class then also.
Okay, so there is an opportunity for them to continue
Or
on.
some volunteering.
Yeah. Do you have to, you're looking for adults. Do you
Over
have any,
18.
Over 18. Do you have any physical requirements that
No.
are needed?
There's nothing that's needed, and if there's someone who wouldn't feel comfortable doing a mock traffic stop or using the firearm simulator, they do not have to participate. They could sit and watch. They can take it as far as they want to, just to learn.
Well, you know, police work has changed and developed throughout the years, and even in the last 5 or 10 years, it's really changed. And what you're expected to do and what you're expected to know continues to get more challenging, doesn't it?
Yes, there's a lot of things now with mental illness. We're trying to work better with the community there and, you know, respond differently and get them to work with us too.
That's a really nice program that you're offering, and I think it's wonderful. I've heard about it in other communities. If you want to get involved, what do you have to do to sign up?
There is a short form you have to fill out. We do a brief background check. We prefer no one with felonies, depending on how recent. If it was 50 years ago, we may allow them in class.
Okay, speeding
Those
tickets,
type of
not really a
things.
problem.
Not a
right?
problem, yes.
Fender benders, not necessarily a problem, but you're looking for something more serious.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what has been the reaction to just people that have been taking the class? What are you hearing from them?
Oh, they go out and tell their neighbors, and then they wish there was a class right following that. Because then a lot of people say, when are you offering it again? My neighbor wants to come. And they'd like to go through it again. I've had people say, can we go through it again? We have to give everyone a chance.
Yeah, but it's a big commitment from the police force to do this, you know? This is your tax dollars at work, so you should take advantage of it, right?
Oh, definitely. And like I said, we try to make it enjoyable, but yet educational. We haven't had any complaints of anyone who's been through it. And all of our instructors, we use our own officers, like I said, that might be an expert more with the criminal law, or our master firearms instructors to teach the firearms portion. So they get the best of our officers.
And Robyn, you said it starts on February 21st.
Yes.
6 to 8:30 p.m. How do we register? How do we get the application and get started?
You can either send me an email directly. I can get you the form. It's also on our website. Just go under the Citizens Police Academy and get it to me ahead of time, and then I'll send you a letter saying you've been accepted.
And before we started our interview today, you were telling me a little bit more about what you do. This is one of the things that you do, but you're also involved in some other outreach in the community.
Yes, I work with, I have a good opportunity. I'm the crime prevention unit, so I'm part of Triad that works with seniors to help seniors prevent them from becoming victims of scams and other things. We hold presentations for those. I teach the Too Good for Drugs program. It used to be called DARE, pretty much the same thing in our schools.
So you're dealing with the youngest and all the way up to the oldest citizens of North Aurora. It's a good bet you've met Robyn or seen her involved in your schools, involved in your community, and this is a great new way to get involved and to learn more about her job and the other officers at North Aurora Police. Thank you so much for sharing this with us today. We'll take a break. We'll be back with someone you should know right after this.
Their support changed my life.
They were like family.
My voice is now heard.
A home for every animal.
My future is bright because they cared.
This is our home now.
Thank you to the 1,200 nonprofits that serve Cass and Clay counties every day.
Their support changed my life.
They were like family.
My voice is now heard.
A home for every animal.
My future is bright because they cared.
This is our home now.
Thank you to the 1,200 nonprofits that serve Cass and Clay counties every day.
Judy Chavez joins us now. Judy is a sophomore at Plano High School. She's here to talk about the National Hispanic Institute or NHI. Judy, thanks for coming.
Of course.
You know, I have seen you're out in the community doing public presentations about this, and actually anywhere I go in the city of Plano, I hear NHI, NHI. Tell me about this group.
Well, NHI stands for National Hispanic Institute. It's an organization for fostering community leaders for the expanding of the Latino community in the United States and Latin American.
How did this national movement come to Plano?
A former student named Hema Tinoco and a former Board of Education member came, and they set up the club, who had worked with NHI previously.
Now, this is a new club, and I know that most of our high schools have established clubs. You know, they may have a drama club, they have a math club, science club, whatever. How hard is it to get started with a new club? You might not know, because just as a sophomore it started, but when you were in junior high. But I think this is a great new phenomenon. So tell me, how many kids attend these meetings?
Right now we have about 15 participations.
Okay. That's a good number.
Yeah.
When do you meet?
We meet every Monday after school.
That's a very good
Yeah.
number. You're keeping kids after school, and
Yes.
15 of them are willing to do it. And those are just the ones that are attending, I know.
Yes.
I'm sure that your reach goes far beyond.
Yes, yes, of course. As of right now, we have 3 non-Hispanic members.
Really?
Yes.
Now, that was one of the questions I wanted to ask you, because NHI, it's specifically targeted towards Hispanic students and uplifting them and getting them to be more motivated for their
Yes.
future. And one of my questions for you that I told you before
Yeah.
the show was, how are the rest of the student body reacting to this?
They're really supportive. We have non-Hispanics wanting to join, and we let them join, so they can also get a feel of our community and how we present ourselves to the community.
You must be having a lot of fun.
Yes, we do.
If everybody wants to come. So what are some of the things that NHI does?
Well, we have our annual vendor fair, which is a big part of our fundraising and everything, and we have little fundraisers along the way.
So what is a vendor fair? When is it, and what do you do there? What are the vendors that you have coming in?
We usually have vendors from every different types of categories, from food to DJs to, of course, people trying to sell their products for us.
Okay.
And also selling our products to different types of people in our community.
Is this a weekend event or a evening event?
It's a weekend event. We usually either have it on a Saturday or Friday, depending on where the schedule fits.
So something that your club saw that was needed.
Yes.
You know, let's get some, and that's probably great, because you get to encourage some cottage industries, some little small businesses, and then some more established businesses to come in and share their products and
Yes.
services.
Yeah.
So who comes to the vendor fair? Is it open to the public?
Yes, it's open to the public. Anyone can come. Last year we had it during a track meet, so we had a lot of track parents and a lot of track athletes come in, and they really loved it.
Okay, I also saw you came in with another fundraiser, so you're selling chocolates and smoothies and coffee.
Yes.
And so how often do you do fundraisers?
We try to have one right after the other one ends.
Really?
Yeah, right now we just finished our world's finest chocolate bars, and we're starting our Java Joes, which is right here.
Okay, so when you go to Plano and you're in Plano High School or at any sporting event, you look for these kids, they're going to be hitting you up to buy something.
Yes.
But what are you going to do with the money? I mean, I see what you're doing. You've got a new club, you're encouraging membership, you're building, but you're building for a purpose.
Yes.
So the vendor fair and all the fundraisers, where are you going with all of this?
Well, each year, after the year ends, we go to leadership events in the summer, where we stay at a college for a week or more, maybe a couple days, depending on
the event. Mhm.
Yes, and we try to raise the money for our room, our flights, the food, everything, so it doesn't just come out to our parents. We help them raise the money as well.
This is an opportunity that these kids would probably never get,
Yeah.
and you're giving it to them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no wonder that you're instilling some enthusiasm in them. Now, are these leadership events geared just to Hispanic students, or are they just for the general,
No.
youth population?
It's for the youth population. Anyone can come and join, and which is great, because I've met some really nice people that are non-Hispanic that love it. Because it's not just about the Hispanic community and the expanding of it. It's trying to learn how to communicate with others and how to be with yourself.
And leaders of tomorrow.
Yes.
Now, you told me you're the public relations officer
Yes,
for
I
your
am.
club. You're only a sophomore. Dare I ask, what are your plans for the future?
My plans is to expand the club more, try to get other clubs in different other schools to come and join ours, but also have their club at their school.
And is this the only NHI in the local area, maybe in Kendall County, or?
Yes.
So this is a Plano High School creation, so to speak. And then beyond high school, what are your plans?
My
Or
plans, my hopes are is to go to New York to study criminal justice in John Jay College. So.
Okay. Well, we might let you go, but we may have to bring you back to
Yeah.
your own hometown because I can tell you have an awful lot to share. And you're very poised, you're very good at your job, and you're doing a great job as a public relations officer for your club.
Thank you.
I think it's exciting to see what your club is doing. So you're a great ambassador for the club, and so we don't really want you to go out east and not come back. You have to come back to the Midwest and
I'll
to
come
all
back.
of us. So right now, you had mentioned some events. You had mentioned this vendor expo. Is it coming up this spring? Or?
Yes, it is. We do like to do it around April or May, one of those two, to kind of start off the summer.
So right now it's fundraising, 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 and preparations
Yes.
for the expo. The expo's coming up in the spring. We have people watching. They are from different schools.
Yes.
Their kids go to different schools.
Yes.
And they want to learn more about NHI. How can they do that?
They can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at PHSNHI, or they can contact Plano High School.
Okay, PHS NHI, or contact Plano High School for more information.
Yes.
That's great, that's great. Are you involved in other clubs as well?
No, NHI has my full attention.
Okay.
But I am a 3-sport athlete and I am in choir.
Oh, okay, well there you go. That kind of fills up your, your days. How do you find time for NHI with 3 sports?
I don't know, it's just something that really grabbed my attention and I try to make time for it whenever I can.
That's awesome. It's absolutely wonderful. You went and you spoke the other day for a Plano City Council meeting.
Yes.
Where else have you gone out to spread the message?
We went to Augustana College. We also do a tea party at the library, the public library, and we read to all the kids that come and want to join us.
Really?
Yes.
So when is the tea party?
We usually have it around December, November, one of those.
So you're involving the rest of the community in what
Yes.
you're doing as well. I think that a lot of the schools, different activities are pretty much centrally focused. You know, the choir, madrigals, they're promoting their internal events and inviting the public. But I don't hear of many of the clubs going out to the public and doing that community service work as well. So I think that's a really nice component.
Yeah, we like to have the community involved in what we do so we're known to them and we're known we're a good club.
Okay, so you don't have to be a Spanish student, but you do have to be a student. I'm probably too old to join NHI. But I am impressed with everything that you're doing. Judy Chavez from Plano High School, once again, give us that, the Instagram and Twitter.
Twitter is PHSNHI, and our Instagram is the same thing, PHSNHI.
Okay, that's someone you should know. Thanks for being with us here on Fox Valley in Focus, and I will sign off now for Fox Valley Television. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad you're here too. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you for having me.